Hello, beautiful souls. Oracle Bree Marie here. So I'm not always going to be able to do this, but when I can, I like to make short videos. Short might not be too short because I've got a lot to say today, finally. And I'm also going to make another video explaining where I've been. But today we're going to get into day 2 of July Journey 22, a tarot challenge created by these two wonderful people down here, these beautiful souls. And I'm excited. Okay, so let's get into it. Today is day 2, grounding. So I've been gifted with this beautiful tarot deck. It's backwards, Tarot of the Enchanted Soul. And I started off with only one tarot deck. And now I have way more oracle decks than tarot decks, but I have like 5 or 6. And you know, they all come with these books. And there's so many different types of readers, and I love it. Some are intuitive and go only by the pictures, and I love those. I love all the different ways of reading. Some know the meanings and just go with it no matter what deck they're using. Some go to the same book or the same reference over and over again. I am an investigator, and I love to use books. And I haven't done it in a long time for time reasons, but when I used to do daily oracle messages, I would read it from the book, and then I would go ahead and put my own input at the end of it. And that's what I want to do today, because this book is incredible, and I really want to share it with you guys. So for grounding, real quick. Okay, so for daily oracle messages, what I do typically is every day after I pull it, I tuck it away. So I don't pull the same card twice. I really don't know why I do that, because they also have reverse meanings in some of the decks, but it's just what I do. So the same message doesn't pop out twice in a month. But with these tarot challenges, for May mantra, I would put the cards back in, and like the Judgment card would come out over and over and over again. And it was for different reasons every day. It had different prompts. But last month with June's runes, I would put the rune away. I'm not sure why I did that. So I had a different rune every day. And after 22 days of challenges, there were only 2 runes left, which I'm actually going to do something really fun with them when I get a chance. But so this month I realized what I was doing, and I'm going to put the card back. So, you know, if it has to come out over and over again, because I got for grounding, lo and behold, Judgment. And it's so hard with my ring light. This is such a beautiful image, and these cards are great. They have these keywords down here. If you are a new or beginner reader, this is a great deck to start with. So I'm going to start off by reading this from the book, and then I am going to intuitively tell you how I am connecting this to the grounding prompt. So it starts off with a quote. Sometimes you have to kind of die inside in order to rise from your own ashes and believe in yourself and love yourself to become a new person. Wow. That's a quote from Gerard Way. Awesome, Gerard. I don't know who that is. Once upon a time, there was a young woman. She had been through so many challenges in her life and was now tired. She had spent her life lurking from one crisis to another, almost sleepwalking through life. She had alienated many people close to her, and they no longer cared about her. She had done this to herself. She realized that deceit, anger, and greed had consumed her and destroyed all those around her. Yet, still, she felt hope. She wandered the streets with her violin, her most prized possession, in her hand, and then found a spot to rest. She sat down and drifted off into a deep sleep. There was a flash as a bolt of lightning struck the stones beside her. She woke with a start as she saw the ground smoke beside her. The smoke got heavier, and suddenly flames appeared. The flames grew higher and higher until she could make out a figure emerging from the flames. The figure was tall and slim, dressed in white and holding a trumpet. They had a set of fiery wings and a stone-cold expression on their face. "Who are you?" the girl demanded. The voice was gentle. "I come to you to review your life and your actions. What do you have to say?" The girl looked at the figure, and suddenly her life flashed past her eyes. She saw it all, everything she had said, past misdeeds and kindnesses, her arrogance at thinking she was the best violinist in the world. She saw that the violin was a material possession that did not matter, since it would be left behind when she left this world. She could see clearly now how her power, possessions, and status meant nothing. For one day, like others, she too was going to return to spirit, where what you owned or what your status was would not matter. The only thing that would matter would be what you had done in this life, what you left behind as a legacy. She realized that she had not been truly living before, but merely existing in a half-awake manner. She looked up at the figure and suddenly had a clarity of vision she had not had before. She knew what she had to do now. Her path was so very clear. She had been cleansed of the past and stood up with a purpose. Life was beckoning her. Okay, so here is a better, clearer image of this Judgment card. You see how she is holding her violin there. And I'm going to read a little bit more because it's just so meaningful. It may be time to be completely honest with yourself and look at where you are and how much of it is linked to decisions you have made or actions you have taken in the past. This is a card of rebirth, resurrection, and transformation in your life. You may be reevaluating your relationships, career, and life at this time, not sure where they are going. It is time to pay attention to any opportunities that may come up at this time, since you may find doors opening that will lead you to the next level. The Judgment person is someone who may have to have reinvented themselves due to a life-changing event or situation. They may have been living life in a routine manner and had a sudden shock that made them question what they were doing with their life and purpose. This may have resulted in them completely changing their life direction. They may change careers many times in their lifetime to realign with new understandings that may come to them during periods of transformation. They are great people to have around during a time of crisis, since they can help you see the way out. And the thoughts here is there a situation in your past that you are holding on to because it's too painful to face? Okay. And funnily enough, that's why the Judgment card kept popping up for me in the May mantra challenge. Using a trusted friend or therapist, consider finding closure of this situation. Okay, so what does this mean in relation to the grounding prompt? And what I'm really seeing here, and like I said, I'm relating these to myself, is that in these moments of evaluating something in my life, okay, something where I might be at the beginning or at the midst of some sort of rebirth or transformation like I recently had back in May, this is when I notice that I am quite ungrounded in a certain sense. And we don't always realize that when we really need grounding. And Spirit is really showing me here that in these moments of realizing, wow, you know, understanding the Judgment, wow, I may have acted this way, or, and you know, it bothers me, I want to do something about it. It's been a habit of mine. It's been something that I've picked up and I've just been doing, or I'm noticing a pattern, how someone else might be treating me on a regular basis. Like I had one of these awakenings regarding my own mother. And that had a lot to do with what I was going through when I realized, I was like, what does this mean? The Judgment card kept coming up for me back in May. And in that moment, I felt that I really needed to bring some grounding into my life. So I pull a tarot and an oracle card for these challenges. This is showing me situations when I may need to become more grounded, or to adopt more grounding, or to find a way to become more grounded. Now let's see, how can I do that in these moments of judgment, of clarity? So from the magical spell cards, I just grabbed it. I just intuitively grabbed this out of all of my decks. I haven't used it in a long time. So how can I find that grounding in those situations? Well, real quick, I promise all of my prompts aren't going to be like this. Like I said, I'm excited to start telling you guys where I've been and what's been going on, and that you'll really start getting back into stuff. And then I'm not going to have the time to do this anymore, but I just wanted to do it while I could. So, through peace, okay? Peace is a serene, balanced, calm state of being, either within or outside of us. And obviously in these moments of judgment, I don't have the peace within, and that's where I need to get this grounding. So what this is telling me is to find the peace without, okay? And I was sitting here last night really thinking about this, and as a child, I used to escape across the street. There was this elderly folks home, and it was surrounded by these rock walls. And when I was really struggling in these moments, I would climb up and I would just sit in the rocks. And it was kind of like my own little hideout. And for me, it's almost always in nature when I need this grounding and I can't find it within. So I'm trying to find this peace on the outside to help bring this calm and this inner peace, right? And as I got older, into my teens and my 20s, I would go to the lake. I would drive out to the lake, and I would even just sit there in my car. And that would really help me get grounded. And then even further in my 20s, I started going to cemeteries. I know, I'm a weirdo. But I would go to cemeteries, the older the better. And I would really go within. I would really find this peace, and it would bring me this calm and this serenity, and I would be able to think things out and just to make those changes that we just talked about in the judgment card. You know, am I living right? Is this what I want for myself? Am I okay with how I'm treating others, or how I'm my patterns and behaviors in my life? You know, what's got to change? Something's got to give right now. What is it? And now in my 30s, I'm realizing that I am so blessed, because where I go to find this outer peace, to help bring this grounding and this balance, to get this inner peace and this inner calm, is at home. It's here at home. And that's something that I never had. So that's just wonderful right there. I loved having that realization last night. And more importantly, in my office, here in my office, where all of my spiritual stuff is. And I had an epiphany last night, and this is part of where I've been and what I've been going through, is that, you know, I noticed that when I avoid my decks, other than for daily oracle messages and stuff like this, when I'm avoiding them is when this judgment is happening, when there's some sort of awakening and resurrection. The first week that I find I'm never in my office or I'm not touching them, I'm like, oh, I'm busy, you know, this and that. The second week I start to notice, I'm like, I haven't been in my office at all. Interesting. And then it's like week 3, week 4, where I'm like, uh-oh, something's wrong, because I'm avoiding my cards, I'm avoiding my guides, I'm avoiding the messages because I'm not understanding something, or I'm trying to block something out. And that's when I really start to realize that I've got to get grounded. I've got to get back in there. And that's what I've been doing. And so yes, this is my long explanation of the grounding prompt. And again, you definitely have to check out these tarot cards. Read the book sometimes. If you're not used to it, just check them out. They're some of them are incredible. With that being said, last night at 1 o'clock in the morning, I started digging through all of my books, all of my different tarot books. And then okay, so real quick, I want to show you guys the Star Tarot. I did not connect with my Star Tarot deck, but the book was incredible and fascinating. And they're all so different and unique. And then I came across my Heavenly Bodies Astrology. This book taught me so much about astrology. Heaven through earth and spirit through body. I love it. And I don't know why I don't use these cards. I think I've had these for like a year. I don't use them. I don't use them in readings. I don't use them for myself. And then as I got this book out, and I was like, yes, this card fell out. The cardinal card. Now, see the flame there? Now check this out. The flame on the peace card. And the way it fell out, you know how that happens? The way that it just falls out sometimes, I was like, ooh, that's something right there. Bravery and a pioneering spirit. So that was comforting, and that was a sweet message from my guides right there. And I'm sure if I look in the book, I'll find something else. But yeah, so that's what I have for you guys today. Again, things are always crazy. I've missed you guys, but I'm glad to be back. My creative energy was really stifled. It was stuck. It was blocked. I was like, what's going on? But more about that later. All right. I hope you all have a super awesome rest of your Independence Day, 4th of July weekend if you're here in the U.S. And have a great weekend if you're not in the U.S. Love, light, and blessings, guys.